If I were to ask you to guess the race of this woman, what would you say? Well, what if I were to tell you that this model is in fact Asian? Yep, using AI, this woman's face was digitally edited to make it seem as if she had the appearance of a white model. This is just one of the few cases that we're starting to see of how AI is starting to infiltrate the world of fashion. But how else will this technology impact the industry? Welcome if you're new here. My name is Malaya, and let's get on with the video. When we think of AI, the first thought that might come to mind for many of us is good old ChatGPT. And it's no surprise here that nearly half of adults aged 18 to 29 have used this tool. Under its definition, IBM defines it as technology that enables computers and machines to stimulate human learning, comprehension, problem solving, decision making, creativity, and autonomy. But would you believe that the history of AI actually predates back to ancient times within the ancient Greeks? Some 2,000 years ago, ancient Greeks actually created automatons, directly translating to acting of one's will. The first ever robot was a steam-powered pigeon crafted by a Greek mathematician by the name of Architas. And in the 15th century, Leonardo da Vinci made a humanoid automaton in the form of a mechanical knight. Centuries later, Maillard's automaton was quite the feat, constructing a robot resembling a human boy that could write and draw in a very seamless and smooth way that definitely seemed as if it was ahead of its time too. The real shift around AI began sometime in the 1950s as scientists started to ponder the question of whether or not it was possible to create an artificial brain that had the ability to think for itself. Suddenly, the terms robot and artificial intelligence had started springing up during this time as there were more research efforts to be devoted to this new and emerging industry. Though at the same time, there was still a lot of skepticism around this discipline as people weren't really familiar with it, and some even failed to see the potential of AI. And so it was actually in the 1980s where we really start to see this boom of artificial intelligence as interest started to grow increasingly. In 1997, you had the development of Deep Blue by IBM, the first AI system of its kind to compete against a world-class champion chess player and successfully win. Afterwards, much of the development around AI started to revolve around human assistance. For instance, in September 2002, we had the release of the Roomba, a robot vacuum cleaner, and much later on, Siri was released by Apple in 2011, acting as our very own virtual personal assistant. And famously, OpenAI had started beta testing GPT-3 in 2020 with their model using deep learning to create code, poetry, and other things such as language and writing tasks. And within the creative field, we also start to see how AI has started to integrate itself into this industry. The release of Adobe's Firefly generative AI has the ability to generate images and text effects using simple text prompts. And it's definitely not hard to see the potential of AI in really helping to assist companies and brands alike. Management consulting firm McKinsey & Company reported that this technology could add upwards to $275 billion in profit to the fashion and luxury industry over the next 5 years. So realistically, how could AI take over? We're definitely no stranger to digitized models. As many of us might know, digital influencers and models, Lil Miquela and Shudu, who came about sometime in 2016 and 2019. Since their inception, they have also been able to collaborate with luxury brands and have worked with Dior, Gucci, and Prada. Lil Miquela also had some sort of controversy back in 2019 for this fictitious story that was created as she was opening up about how she was sexually assaulted in a Uber rideshare.
This motherfucker has the audacity to lean in so close that I can literally smell his breath as he whispers, "Are you real?"
Which raised many questions and concerns as to why her team decided to make up this story in the first place because, well, it doesn't really exist. I can understand where they might have had this idea pop up in their head in the first place, mainly because they are spreading awareness on an issue of the real life horrific traumas that women have experienced in terms of being sexually assaulted in these Uber ride shares. From the perspective of a marketer and as someone who has also studied this discipline, it sure is a hell of a way to garner attention. I'll give them that. But it definitely does get people talking in a way about an issue that they otherwise wouldn't have known. And I feel like because of the fact that they took that story and had Lil Michaela deliver it, the burden of the trauma, it doesn't carry the same weight because we as the viewers and the audience know that that sexual assault actually didn't happen to Lil Michaela herself. And she's just delivering the story of what it might have been like for an actual real life victim. But there's certainly no denying that crafting up make-believe stories as well as personalities towards these characters is a bit troubling. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen the TV show Westworld. Basically, if you're not familiar with the show, the whole premise is the fact that there's a place somewhere in the future where the mega rich spend a crazy amount of money to attend an amusement park full of AI robots. And basically the technology is so advanced that they are able to program specific personalities and backstories as well as mimicking the human behavior to a T. Human AI robots basically experience a lot of trauma from what these human attendees are doing to them, and so they go crazy. But I think moral of the story is I think there's something a little bit eerie about humanizing AI too much. But anyways, Clueless Agency have delved into creating their very own AI model and influencer named Aitana, who they released back sometime in 2023, and clearly they have been able to become pretty successful because of it, as they've been garnering tens of thousands of pounds in sponsored posts and content. And in the video introducing Aitana, one of the creators, Sofia Navales, laughed when the program generated an outfit for her.
Aitana with...
That's interesting that you laughed at that one.
Aitana will never wear this, for example.
Right, that's what.
So it's funny because it's like, wow, I would love her to wear this, but she will not wear this.
Now, in the context of who Aitana is, I feel like this comment struck out to me because I'm not really sure what she means by that. It seems as if she's crafted up some sort of idea of the type of outfit that Aitana would choose and whether or not she likes it. And again, going into the idea that she's almost humanizing Aitana to a point, believing that, oh, Aitana would never wear that outfit. Almost as if she's, giving her some personality and some backstory, and it's as if she knows Aitana's taste, which is quite interesting to see because I feel like after you've worked with an AI model thus far, you do start to really humanize them to a point. And when the reporter confronted the creators about the fakeness of Aitana and how she promotes some pretty unrealistic body standards, as she's someone who quote unquote goes to the gym, as she's some sort of fitness influencer too, but she never really has to watch what she eats. Sophia, one of the creators, responded by saying that initially when they began their project, they were wanting to include much more curvier models, but to the dismay of their clients, they actually didn't want that and much preferred the most perfect looking model there is. And in our youth obsessed culture, we can definitely see why AI models can definitely be beneficial, as they have that eternal youth and never have to worry about wrinkles on their face. And not only that, but AI models are definitely a bit more cost effective than their human counterpart. Deep Agency is a Netherlands-based AI modeling agency who offers a $29 a month subscription where users have access to about 12 models of varying races, mainly in their 20s and 30s, where they can prompt the model to engage in activities such as reading a book or holding up a peace sign. Posted the standard rate of a model, which can range, but in my research it said that some can charge upwards to $35 an hour. It can definitely save some companies a bit of a buck. AI models can also help reduce the environmental footprint that the modeling industry can have, as within a single photo shoot, a model can shoot with more than 50 outfits, but at the end of the day, have those samples possibly ending up in the landfill. And these digital models can also require a much smaller team as opposed to real life models who require a bigger team of, say, photographers, makeup artists, and hairstylists who have to accommodate to their specific needs. And Levi's, one of the biggest brands, also launched a new campaign partnering with La La Land AI, a digital studio specializing in customized AI models for fashion companies. A Levi spokesperson said they see it as an opportunity for consumers to resonate with these models as they can reflect any combination of body type, age, size, race, and ethnicity, enabling us to create a more personal and inclusive shopping experience. The efficiency of AI models can also generate much faster content in a world that is constantly demanding more and more. In their first ever AI generated campaign, Mango, a Spanish fast fashion retailer, was an early adopter in this technology as they had started integrating AI into its operations since 2018. Tony Ruiz, the CEO for the company, commented, "It's about faster content creation." What may seem like a slew of benefits, there are still many shortcomings when it comes to the use of AI. For one, it's not as environmentally friendly as we think it is. It takes so much power to generate even a single AI image, and generating over 1,000 images can generate the carbon emission equivalent of 4.1 miles driven by an average gasoline powered passenger vehicle. And do you remember that Deep Agency AI company that I was talking about earlier? Well, The Guardian decided to take a little test themselves to see just how well their technology held up and the sort of images that they would produce for them. The tool generated 2 photo renderings of 2 models, the first one named Caitlin and the second one named Chai. While Caitlin had some semi-realistic features, but definitely not enough to fool just about anybody, for Chai, it was a pretty unnerving picture. The software generated Slenderman-like fingers of a sad attempt at a peace sign. Digital representation has also been another issue that's arisen due to this technology. There's been a lot of critique surrounding Shudu Gram, a dark-skinned digital model created by a white man. And the question of where they're actually pulling the data in order to feed the systems to create these images is also brought to light. Are they using their own models, or are they using the open web in order to create their AI models? Lastly, we can't also deny the human touch in which fashion just so heavily thrives off of, where art and storytelling blend so seamlessly together to create something that AI might not even be able to recreate, at least not now or maybe ever. And another sector in which AI is slowly starting to creep up on in the fashion industry is Stylists. Y.CGI, a creative marketing studio, imagines a future of what having robot personal shoppers may look like using Tesla robots in this video that they made. And with many styling apps that already exist in the market that can help aid in generating outfit options such as Style DNA, AI Stylists, and many more, some reporters decided to try for themselves how these tools hold up. Chloe Hamilton of The Guardian decided to settle on the app A Closet for a week-long challenge to see what sort of outfits that AI could come up for her. Already using existing clothes from your closet, the app has you digitizing your wardrobe onto the app of one of 2 options. The first one being essentially taking a picture of all of the clothes in your closet and uploading them onto the app, and the second one being using the app's search platform to find the items online and uploading them there. And from there, the app has their very own outfit generative features where outfits are generated based on a series of factors like occasion, location, day of the week, and color preference. For Chloe, as someone who recently gave birth to her second child, she found that she was having a really hard time trying to figure out what to wear for that day. So it was pretty fitting for her to try her very own personal AI stylist, as this definitely afforded her more time to herself, as according to her, the app took less than a minute to generate an outfit, saving her much time and the ever daunting feeling of decision fatigue and very messy clothes on the floor because you don't know what to wear. And for her, it surprisingly also gave her the courage to try out pieces that she otherwise wouldn't have worn before without the guidance of the app telling her what to wear. I have an inkling that we all have some sort of piece that we bought some time long ago that is pretty out there. It's that dress that has a little bit more frill than we're used to, the pair of pants that has a bold pattern on it, you know, the type of clothing piece that will definitely have people noticing you. For Chloe, this piece of hers came in the form of this mint green midi dress that she actually wore to her son's birthday party. That was something she wouldn't have normally worn if it wasn't for the AI suggestion. In a story like this, we can definitely see the sort of benefits that AI can have, as it really gave this woman the courage to wear a piece that she wouldn't normally wear, not unless it was under the suggestion of this tool. And as a result, she definitely felt as if her style was revitalized and she had the chance of finding another source of inspiration since becoming a mother. Now, on the flip side, much of my research also led me to other reporters who decided to use ChatGPT instead to serve as their very own little personal stylist. By asking the bot specific questions, these women were able to cut out more time for themselves that they otherwise would have spent scouring the web, as well as receiving different outfit combinations or how to put an outfit together. Although there was surprising results when it came to testing out different ages to see what ChatGPT would come up with. In a New York Times article published in 2023, Emma Grillo decided to ask ChatGPT what to wear for her birthday party. For a 21-year-old, it suggested a statement dress like a sequined mini to quote-unquote be the center of attention on your special day. As for a 29-year-old, it simply suggested that they wore a chic jumpsuit. And finally, for a 59-year-old, it suggested a knee-length dress in a classic print like polka dots or stripes that would quote-unquote help you feel confident and stylish on your special day. And in a more recent article by Alexandra Fullerton published in The Telegraph, she simply thought ChatGPT was ageist when asking what a 65-year-old woman should wear on her date night with her husband as a test. The bot included suggestions that were quote-unquote based on style, comfort, and a touch of elegance. The intro had also begun off by saying, "Wow, wonderful that you're planning a date night. I mean, it's nice of them to say that, but I can see where the ageism is coming from." She then also asked if she were 20, wherein the bot responded with options such as a form-fitting jumpsuit, a fun, flirty mini dress, or a bodycon dress, which can be, quote, both sexy and classy. The tests conducted by these women certainly reveal the ageism that is present and well in the AI realm. That's a model that I mentioned at the very start of this video who had her face replaced by a white model. Her name was Shireen Wu. Michael Costello, the designer who had posted the picture on his Instagram story, was quick to deny his involvement in the alteration of the picture and claimed that it was sent over to him by an unspecified source as he deemed it as fan art. As an independent model, Shireen wasn't actually paid for the work that she had done on that very show where she attended Los Angeles Fashion Week. She wanted to be paid with exposure instead, and to her dismay, you can see why she was so upset because of the fact that her face was covered, and it wasn't just an insult on her, but it was also an insult on the backstage crew who also worked on her hair and makeup. And although the origin of the altered runway picture remains unknown, Shireen suspected that it was altered by someone that she didn't know. The alteration of a model's image isn't uncommon within this industry, and one such extreme case featured model Philippa Hamilton in her ad for Ralph Lauren. Her waist was edited to appear much smaller than her head in what is a completely unrealistic portrayal of her true body shape. Model Alliance, an advocacy group for fashion workers, have heard numerous stories about models who have found their images to be heavily manipulated without their consent or compensation. But Shireen's case may be part of a new threat looming surrounding AI technology. And as a way to combat this, models have rallied in support of the Fashion Workers Act, a bill that would create basic labor protections for models. Under this bill, there's also a part that would establish protections under a model's digital replica, ensuring models the ability to explicitly consent to the use of this image. This would certainly allow them to maintain control over their image and safeguard them against AI-run campaigns that rendered models in their likeness. Now, thankfully, New York Governor Kathy Hochul signed this bill into law, which will effectively go into effect June 19, 2025 in their state. And though it's uncertain just how much this technology will impact the industry, as many are still hesitant on implementing this technology within their brand and companies, David Klingbeil, CEO and founder of Submarine AI, as well as a professor at NYU, offers a pretty unique perspective about this. And in a podcast that he was featured in discussing AI in fashion, he presents a story that he had with students in his classroom. In the beginning of the semester, for many of his students, he recalls that many of them were very reluctant and even afraid of the use of AI, with many of them not knowing too much of all the other AI tools out there and only really being aware of ChatGPT. However, towards the end of the semester, after much encouragement, he had laid out a project for his students to work on using AI systems to create an ad for the collaboration of two luxury brands. Well, you could say the results were a level of professionalism that even caught the eye of Senior VP of Estee Lauder to come into contact with some of the students in his class. He concludes this story by saying,
I feel very optimistic. I think people should not be afraid of AI, but they should be afraid of, they will not be replaced by AI. They will be replaced by people using AI if they don't adapt. But if they adapt, people will be enhanced by AI.
So there you have it. You have reached the end of the video. Congratulations if you made it this far. But I'm so glad you are here. Thank you for your never-ending support. And I just had so much fun making this video. And I remember when I got the inspiration for it, I just thought, wow, that is so clever. And as someone who loves fashion, and who also lives within the Bay Area where technology is just so prominent here, I just had to make this video topic, and I hope you enjoyed it because I enjoyed it, and I will see you guys the next time. Bye, cool cats.